Hello, friend. I hope you're doing well. If you're new here, I want to welcome you to the collective, and if you're returning, I'm so excited to see you again. Today, I just want to let the cards tell us exactly what it is that we need to know. I thought it would be kind of interesting just for us to find out what is the underlying issue and figure out maybe something that we don't know about what's going on in our life. Um, One of those things where maybe the cards can give us a heads up about something, or maybe we're all just in a same spot. Well, we're all in different spots, is what I meant to say. We're all in different spots, but we all have similar underlying currents and themes that are going on. So this reading could be, it could reach out to more people. So let's figure out what our first card is. You never get there and you never stay here. So this is that annoying reminder that the destination is an illusion and that the journey is the true destination. And I mean that because think about it. When you go on a vacation, say you're going to a cabin in the mountains or something like that. When you get there, you don't just sit in the cabin. You do things. You go hiking, you go shopping, you go out and you do trails. Like, you do things. How often do you go on vacation just to go sit in a hotel room for a week? Like, that's not normal. Normally, you go out, you go on vacation, you get to the hotel room, and then you go out and do things, you see things, you get excited to be there, and you continue to journey. And then there's the point where you have to journey home. And typically, by the end of the vacation, I know I'm happy to be back home, happy to be in my own bed, happy to have my own surroundings again. So the truth is it's always a journey. There really is no destination. You're always going to another place. So let's just get straight up to the point here, that the destination is an illusion and that the journey is the actual thing. I love control, wish I had some. This is like the most relatable card in any Oracle deck that I've ever had in my life. And I love it because it's true. Like, literally, the little amount of control that we actually have is so small that it's scary when you think about it. You only have control over your actions, maybe your reactions, and maybe your emotions. I mean, I don't know about you, but I've been working on mindfulness, meditation, and affirmations for quite some time now, and I still don't have complete control over my thoughts. So, how much control do you really have? And the point of this is not to scare you, but it's to get you to realize that, you know what? You just kind of have to really go with the flow. You really have to realize that it's not about you having a perfect plan and everything working the way you expect it to. It's understanding that, you know what? There's a lot of variables out there. There's a lot of unknown factors. You can't plan for them all. So just only focus on what you can do. Don't do everything, do the next thing. That goes right with what I was just saying about having control over, such a small amount of things. Because again, it's one of those things where you only actually, it grabs both of these cards up really well, because you only have now the present and you only have your actions that you can control. So why are you trying to do everything when right now only thing that you can do is the next thing? And it's one of those where you're going to be like, well, I can multitask and I have all these things that are on my shoulders. And I get it. We all wear a bunch of caps. Mom, dad, sister, brother, teacher, police officer, firefighter, nurse, doctor. And then there's a bunch of other titles amongst all those titles. Like, we all carry a lot. I get that. But realistically, you can only do one thing at a time. You can only, do one activity at a time. Yes, you're going to be like, but I could talk to my friend and go grocery shopping. Yeah, I do the same thing. Don't get me wrong. But I can only do one activity at a time. I can only go grocery shopping. Or I can only cook dinner. Or I can only, do laundry. Now, can I do laundry? Can I have the laundry running while I'm cooking dinner? Yeah, but I can only focus my body, my physical self, one thing at a time. I can't do two things at a time. I can't go for a walk and cook dinner at the same time if I'm needed in the kitchen. Now, if I put it in a crock pot, sure, but then I'm not actually cooking. I'm leaving it in the crock pot. You can only do one activity at a time. So don't try to do it all. Just do the next thing. The work is whatever uncomfortable thing that is in front of you right now at this moment. I kind of love how like these two cards are like dark and like gray, and these ones have a bunch of color, because these two are things we don't want to work through and talk about, but these two are a little more fun and exciting. But let's talk about how the work is whatever uncomfortable thing that is in front of you right now at this moment. And that's true in so many things. This could be shadow work, this could be your actual job, this could be the fact that you have to fold your laundry that's been in your laundry basket for a week and you just haven't actually folded it and put it away. This could be something bigger like, unpaid taxes. This could be something along the lines of you needing to maybe, start applying for a second job. Whatever the work is, whatever you actually need to focus on and need to do, think about the thing that makes you the most uncomfortable. Think about the thing that scares you the most. It's probably where you need to go, because that's where the answers lie. So now that we understand that, like, we are looking for a destination, again, that is an illusion, and we are just trying to have some control over the chaos that's going on in our lives. And I get that it's chaotic because of this card right here. You don't do everything, do the next thing. So, like, you already have a lot on your plate. I don't need the 10 of Wands to tell me that you have a lot on plate. I can see that already. And what the thing you have to do next is, like, you're struggling with prioritization because you're trying to stretch yourself so thin to do everything. So let's remember that you only have control of your actions. Let's focus on the next thing. And instead of just trying to wait till you get till Saturday, let's just try to enjoy the moment that we have now while we're doing the thing, even if that thing's the uncomfortable thing, that is work. So now I want to ask the tarot cards kind of more about the situation, not like in what's going around you, but like what's going on, like what happened actually. I want to know what happened that got you to think that you have to have it done the certain way. Because whatever the situation is, I'm really getting that you believe that it has to be a perfect roadmap, that you have to go to A to B to C to D to E to continue to progress. And life doesn't work that way. Sometimes you have to go to A and then you go to L and then you go back to B and then you go back to C, but then you get exactly what you needed and everything worked out. Like, so let's figure out what is like pushing us to believe and what's keeping us from thinking that we're unable to do the work that we need to do as well. That is part of my questions as well. Put that back there. All right, we got the Knight of Pentacles here. So knights like to go, they like to move, they like to do. The Knight of Pentacles, though, and Pentacles not just being about your finances, it's about your time and energy, because you spend time, you spend energy. The Knight of Pentacles likes to have things take their time, in the sense of he understands that everything has a season, reason, and place. The Knight of Pentacles does not rush spring, does not rush summer, does not rush fall or winter. The Knight understands that everything has its time. And when the Knight of Pentacles is in its reverse position, the Knight is either feeling rushed and is very aggravated about it, or is feeling like they're not able to get enough done in the time that they have. This Knight is not happy, and this is you. I don't care if you're male or female, this is you. This is you wanting things to be done quicker, or wanting to, like, or feeling that you're rushed. And it's one of those, if you're feeling that you're rushed and that you have no time and that, it just keeps going, maybe you need a pause. Maybe you need to take just 5 minutes and still your brain, still your mind, and just let yourself be in this present. Let yourself be in the now. And if you're finding yourself wanting to have things done and you're getting really impatient, maybe consider that, you're trying to rush something that can't be rushed. Just like a seed, it has its own time. And you can't do anything to make that seed go any faster into a seed, into like a little sapling, into a plant, and then to bear fruit. It has to take its own time. It has to make its own process. Whatever you're doing is the same way. Then we have the King of Wands. Again, doesn't matter if you're male or female, this is you. And the King is that divine masculine energy, and Wands is fire. So this literally is the most action-oriented, like, person that you are, that you can be. And the thing about the King of Wands is the King of Wands knows how to get things done, knows how to plan, knows how to prepare, but also knows how to pivot when pivot is needed. Because the thing about Wands is it's your action, your desire, your passion, your fire to do things, to like find things, to create things, to make things. This is what Wands is about. So the king is here saying, I know how to, get things done for the short term and plan for the long term. I know how to manifest the things that I need to in order to get what I need now and what I need later. And the king doesn't do it by sitting idle. The king does it by taking right action. And what I mean by right action, I don't necessarily mean that you have to do it perfect or right, because there is no perfection, there is no right. I mean by doing what's aligned, by doing what is most important, by doing the work, that uncomfortable thing that you need to do, and by just focusing at one thing at a time. And then we have the Eight of Swords. All right, so Eight of Swords in its upright or reverse position still talks about you being trapped in your mind. And I want to remind you that swords is that air element. It is that, this is swords, right? Yeah, okay. The word swords just really threw me off. But it is that air element. It is your ability to, think, feel, not feel, but think, see analytically, and your cognitive function. And it's like you're just trapped. You put yourself in a tree and you decided that you can't get out. And the reason why you can't get out is because you refuse to. You're the one that put yourself here for safety. And now that you've been there for so long, you forget that you're not in the cage. You literally can just walk out. It's kind of like when you're a kid and you feel like you have to have your hands and feet tucked in bed at all times, or else the monster underneath your bed is going to grab your foot or grab your hand. Yeah, we all felt that fear as a child, even me. And if you didn't, congratulations, like you're the one person that I know that didn't. But here's the thing, we kept our hands and feet on tucked into our sheets to make sure nothing could grab us, but it was all in our head. We could have let our foot fall off the bed and been fine. We could have let our hands hang off the bed and we would have been okay. I do it plenty as an adult. I always have one foot and one hand off the bed half the time anyway, or an arm depending on how tired I am. But yeah, I created that illusion that I had to do something that I didn't even have to do. And that's what this Eight of Swords is. And it's in a reverse position. You know that you're the one that's creating it, but you're still staying in it. It's like you've opened the door to your own cage, but you're just too afraid to move forward. Then we have the Devil in its reverse position. So let's talk about what the Devil means. The Devils are comfort zones. And your comfort zone is not you being comfortable. It is the amount of discomfort you're willing to tolerate. How do you know what your comfort zone is? Easy question. How many dishes can be stacked up in your sink before you wash them? That is your comfort zone. The amount of dishes that can be in your sink. Or how long can your trash stay full and you keep stacking things on top of your trash can before you take it out of the garbage. That is a comfort zone. It's not you being comfortable, it's the amount of discomfort you're willing to tolerate. So when I have the Devil here, I'm asking you, what is your comfort zone? Because you're aware of it. And when the Devil's in its reverse position, you are 100% aware of it. You know there's a comfort zone that you need to leave. You know that, you need to take the trash out, or you need to wash the dishes. You know that you're probably in a toxic workplace or in a toxic environment that you need to get out of. But the problem is wherever you're at right now in that comfort zone, it's predictable. And you like the fact that there's predictability. But predictability doesn't mean that it's healthy for you. So another example I like to give with the Devil is if you're on a diet, the Devil will be like, you want a chocolate bar? And you say, sure, and then you blame the Devil for giving you the chocolate bar. And remind you, the Devil did not shove the chocolate bar down your throat. All I did was offer you the chocolate bar. You're the one that took it. So the Devil isn't controlling you. You are just blaming the situation, their circumstances. You're blaming that what you're in right now is better than what other possibilities could be out there because you refuse to believe that there could be better. And I don't say this lightly. From somebody who literally had to quit her job on the spot because the manager that I worked for literally threw a like abusive fit about chicken of all things, because I worked in the deli and this was like fried chicken. And it was like one of those things where she asked somebody to do something, he did it, she didn't believe him, I defended him, and she screamed at me. And then when I was in the cooler, she slammed the saloon doors open, and I was right there, and I almost got hit. Now here's the thing, I'm a survivor of abuse, so that sent me into an instant panic attack. I could have stayed and continued to work where I was at, knowing that I had, you know, an easy job, that the deli was easy, and that everything I did there was, you know, it wasn't complicated, it was easy. But I couldn't have stayed in that toxic environment, because I, for the first time in 10 years, had 2, not 1, but 2 panic attacks because of that whole situation. I left a comfort zone. I left because I knew that that wasn't healthy for me. So understand that as I'm talking about you leaving these comfort zones, I know circumstances are like tough. I know that whatever situation you're not in it because you want to be in it. You're in it because there's a situation that's bigger than you, and you don't think that there's a way out of it. But there is, and you need to make that decision, and then you need to follow through with it. And you need to remember that the decision that you made to get yourself out of this comfort zone is the right decision. And it's gonna be hard. It's gonna feel scary because it's uncomfortable. And it feels overwhelming and it feels huge. But you don't have to do everything, you just have to do the next thing. Because the only thing you have control over is your actions. And you're never gonna get there, and you're never gonna stay here anyway. So just in this moment, start making the decisions. Start acting and doing what you need to do in order to get to where you want to be. Because you're the one that's keeping yourself trapped in this comfort zone. Now I want to ask the cards what steps we can take. Because if you're watching this video, you know that you need to get out. And it's one of those things where you obviously it feels overwhelming and it feels scary. So we just need to know kind of what the next steps look like for us. What it is that we can do to help us find the courage to do the thing that we need to do. I need this card too, for ourselves. Alright, so we didn't get with the tarot cards, but we got with the oracle cards. Change. And whenever death happens, like in this card, it's a rebirth, and it's you letting go of something that no longer serves you, you stopping a habit, you stopping a thought pattern, you stopping something, and letting it go because it's not serving you anymore. Change needs to happen. It needs to happen now. And if you think that it's going to get better without change, you're just fooling yourself 100%. Change needs to happen. You need to let something of you go. I don't know if it's an identity. I don't know if it's a pattern. I don't know if it's a behavior. But there's something of you that needs to be let go, and it's no longer a part of you. You need to allow that change to happen. Discernment. This one's huge. Discernment is so important because it asks you to make decisions with a keen eye, with a sharp eye, and decide what's good for you and what's not. It's kind of like when you go to the supermarket and you get a thing of strawberries. You look at it to make sure there's no mold on them. If you don't, you're just kind of, setting yourself up to get, whatever you get. But when you go and you look at the strawberries and you see, oh, this one's got a couple brown strawberries, you don't want this one, and you put it back down, you get something else. That's you using discernment. Same thing like when you get a carton of eggs and you check to make sure there's no cracked eggs in it. These are easy examples of what discernment is, but you still need to make decisions, not impulsively or not habitually, but every decision you make, maybe not every decision, but a good majority of the decisions that you make about your future or moving forward needs to have you to evaluate whether or not it's the right decision for you. Growth. That has been a huge part of this reading. The fact that something needs to change. And this card tells me that you've planted the seeds, which I believe with these two cards. You planted the seeds. This card actually makes more sense now that you planted the seeds too. You planted the seeds, and you, in your brain, you know that things can't be the way they are anymore, that it's not right for you, that's not good for you. And now it's time for you to water those seeds and grow. That starts with you making boundaries and putting in boundaries in place. That starts with you changing your thought patterns and believing in yourself and telling yourself the affirmations that you need to hear. And slight caveat about affirmations. Affirmations don't have to be, like if you're telling yourself that you're a monster and that you don't deserve anything in your life, going from I'm a monster to I'm a good person is a huge jump. So if you're going to do affirmations and you want it to actually work, why don't we be realistic about our affirmations? Instead of being I'm a monster to I'm a good person, why don't we just go to I'm a person? Make it a neutral statement. Because if you try to jump too far, yeah, love and light people are probably going to, hit me up on this and say all sorts of bad things, and I don't care. But my own journey with affirmations has taught me that I needed the small steps to believe in myself, that I'm a good person. If I would have gone from I'm a monster to I'm a good person, I would have never believed it, because it's like a fad diet, and it's you expecting to lose 30 pounds in 2 weeks. So understand when I say growth and I say affirmations, I'm talking about you using realistic ones. And I'm talking about you needing to say the things and affirm the things that you need to remember and hear about yourself in order to make the changes you need to make. So if in your head you keep hearing you're weak, find a way to make it realistic. Even if it's just saying, you know what, I may be weak, but I'm going to get stronger. Even if it's you just saying, I'm going to survive this, and I'm going to do this even if I'm weak. Like, do what you need to in order to get everything on board so that way you can grow. And understand that your growth is going to look different than everybody else's growth, and that yours is going to be completely unique to you. So use whatever you have to get you into the better situation that you're trying for. Teaching. Teaching is the easiest way to confirm that you know how to do something. And it's not that you're confirming it to other people, it's confirming it to your brain. So, for example, math is something I struggled with as a kid, as most kids. Okay, maybe not most, but whatever. Math was not my favorite subject. But it was one of those things where, like, I would understand how to do it, kinda, sorta. But then as soon as my friend needed me to explain to him how to do it, I instantly really understood how to do this math problem. Like, it was the weirdest thing. But there's science behind that, because as you are teaching something to somebody, you're processing it in a different way. You're processing it in a way that makes sense to somebody else, and so that allows your brain to reinforce that, hey, I know this thing, and I can do this thing. So while you're going through this journey, while you're going through this growth, while you're going through this change, allow yourself to help other people and tell them what you're doing. And if you know someone who's in a similar situation that you are in, tell them what's working for you and learn from each other. Teaching isn't just about you being in a classroom. It's not about you necessarily, even having a book. It's you just teaching others what it is that you're learning through your own experiences. It's all good. So this card seems like a slap in the face, and every time I see it, I feel the slap in the face as I'm the one that's receiving it. But here's what this card really means. Like, this card looks like chaos, but in the center, it looks calm, right? It's all good is a reminder that while the outside world might be really shitty right now, while your work environment, your home environment, whatever it is, might be really toxic, while things aren't feeling great, there is still good. There are still things that are going good for you. If, you are watching this from the safety of your home or a room, you still have a roof over your head. You still have clothes on your back. You still have a phone or a computer to watch this from. So it's all good is that reminder that there is good too. It's not that everything's good. It's just that a lot of it's good. And you need to find where and when the good things are happening in your life and pay attention to that and use those as evidence that yes, not only is things in your life going well, but you are also a good person too. Reunion of Souls. This isn't a card I get a lot, and even like my in-person readings, I don't get this one a lot. But this seems like you are, I mean, Reunion of Souls, it's literally two birds coming together. But I feel like as I'm getting this card, you're going to be reuniting with someone who is somebody from your past. Someone who was good for you, and for whatever reason you split. It could have been on bad terms, it could have been on good terms, it could have been neutral. Sometimes in adult life, you split from friends. Like, it just happens. Life happens, and that happens a lot. With this card, though, I feel like whoever this person is going to help you remember who you truly are. Because I feel like this person was significant to you in the sense of you were vulnerable with them, you opened up to them, you let them see you for who you truly are. And then whatever caused the split, whatever caused the time lapse, whatever caused anything to happen, they're going to see you and they're going to see through the mask, they're going to see through the facade, they're going to see through all of that, and they're going to help you through this. Now, Reunion of Souls doesn't necessarily have, I strongly feel like this is another person coming into your life, like a person from your past coming in. But with that being said, it can also have to do with you connecting with your inner child too, which is another meaning I typically get with this card. And I do just want to put that out there, that this a lot of times does talk about you connecting with your inner child. So that might be for some of you because this is a general reading. But honestly, I feel like a person from your past is going to come and help you. And I don't say that on a whim. That was literally what I was getting with that card. All right, so now I just want to ask the cards for some encouragement, because honestly, they threw a lot at you. It was, the fact that, yeah, you're in a bad place and you need to work on it. Yeah, you want to do everything at once, but really you can only work at one thing at a time. And what do you need to do? What do you need to focus on? What do you need to face? Well, you need to face the thing that's uncomfortable so you can make the change, and you have to be discerning, and you have to just understand that it takes time in its own time in its own place. Like, literally, they came at us with a heavy message. So let's ask for some encouragement, it's not even that I want to ask, like, what is that we need to do to move forward. I just want to know what is going to help us, inspire us to get us out of this place and help us believe and have the courage that we can do this moving forward. Because in any time that I've been in a position of doubt, fear, anxiety, toxicity, and like needing to change, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not feeling really courageous at the time. Even when I know I need to get out of it, like, there's not a lot of courage. There's a lot more fear. So let's see what the cards give us. When you find something that excites you, go all in and enjoy the ride. Okay, this is the simple reminder that while things are rough right now, it doesn't mean you can't still find joy. Whether it be a hobby, whether it be a book, whether it be a TV series, you know what? Allow yourself to indulge, allow yourself to find that happiness, because you still need that, and that is important. Stop ruminating over what you did or didn't do. Let it go. That one's huge too, because again, you can't change the past. You only have now. You only have the present. You only have control over what you can do now. So stop ruminating over what you did or didn't do. Let it go and start doing differently now, in this moment. Give yourself that chance to make that change. Stay present. That's where life happens. In case you haven't heard that enough in this reading about needing to be present, needing to be in the now, here's one more very ironic and kind of in-your-face reminder. Life can be hard and life can be wonderful. Which will you focus on? The last card, always beautifully wrapping up the reading. And I love that it does this, because it does not do it for my in-person readings. This is just an online thing. But this is really important too, because how I mentioned that, with the all is good thing, you need to decide what it is that you're going to focus on. You're going to need to see the good in what's in your situations. Sorry, I said that weird. You're going to need to start seeing the good in your situation, whatever it is that you have. Yeah, right now you're in a tough spot, and right now things feel not great, and right now you know that you need to change, and you know that things need to change, but you don't know where to go. And you can see this as a scary time, and you can see this as hard and difficult, or you can choose to see this as an adventure, as you finding yourself, as you liberating, as you freeing yourself, so that way you can be happy. It's up to you. What will you focus on? And if you don't know what to focus on, or if you are going to come at me and say, Kirsten, this is my story, you tell me where the happiness, you tell me what the good things are, go ahead, put your story down in the comments below. We have a community, we have a collective here. We're here to help and support each other, and I will answer your comments. If you don't know exactly what it is that is going to help you get out of that comfort zone, or if you have questions about how to walk out of your own cage, there's a link in the description below for private reading. I do still have some available dates, so go ahead and feel free to hit me up, and maybe we can get more clarity and more understanding on your specific situation. And I just want to remind you that you are not at this alone. You might have been before, you came to this reading, but we are here to support you, and I will support you in any way that I can. And it's one of those things where the more you talk, the more you open up about your situation, the more other people might find courage from you, but also might be able to help you find someone to relate to and someone to work with. So give yourself the ability to, find other people who are going through the same thing that you are, and trust in them and allow them to trust in you. This is all I have for you today. I hope you the best, and I cannot wait to see your success story. I love you so much, and I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.